Hey team, Patrick here. In this lesson, I'm going to show you the key technique points necessary to have a great overhead smash. The overhead was actually the first video I posted on this channel, but I haven't revisited the shot since. And it's an important one, as I think a lot of recreational players lack confidence on their overhead and then hesitate when they probably should be moving forwards to the net, particularly in doubles, or freeze once that ball goes up into the air. So let's get into it. Our setup and movement and positioning is going to be the number one key. We want to use the Continental grip, the chopper grip, as this allows me to hit with slice spin if needed and gives me control over the ball with the wrist. If I use the forehand grip, it leads to more of a pushing action and I can't spike the ball down into the court in the same way than if I use the Continental grip. The racket face will tend to be too open with the forehand grip, particularly if I let the ball get behind me at all and the ball's gonna pop up too high, which is the last thing we want on our overhead. The setup position is going to be like the trophy position on our serve. And as soon as we see the ball go up as a lob, we get straight into this position. And a top tip is to take your racket back with your non-dominant hand still on the racket. And for me, my left elbow up. This is more efficient as it gets my arms working together and going straight up, and we don't want this lag like we might have on a serve. It also promotes this turn of my shoulders, as if I just tell you to point at the ball like I often hear, then I can do so from this position where I'm too open with my body. Make sure you get your racket hand up closer to your head with this L shape and our elbow not tucked in too close to our body. From here, I can let go and stretch up with my non-dominant hand, which is going to help me with this balance, tracking of the ball, and give me this tilt of my shoulders needed for this shoulder over shoulder action later in the motion. I'm looking over my front shoulder, which again gets me sideways, which is going to be so important, as if I'm using the Continental grip, the ball is just going to shoot off at this angle from this position. Our movement should also be sideways and not backwards, where we're going to be off balance. I drop my back foot behind and side shuffle, or we can use the crossover step if we need to cover more ground. But it's important I get far enough back behind the ball, so ideally I can go back forwards and get my weight into the shot. Though this is not always possible, and if your weight is still on your back foot, you can use this scissor kick and transfer your weight back to the front foot so you can stay on balance and continue the point, either moving back to the baseline or closing back in for the volley, depending on your position on the court. Another important element is to keep the racket head on the hitting side of your body. We accelerate and initiate the swing from here, and don't drop the racket down behind your back too early and pause here, or open up your body, which puts you in this waiter tray position. Also, even though we're going to finish all the way with the body accommodating the swing path, don't pull down with your body too early and jackknife at the waist. Feel like you keep your non-dominant arm up longer, which keeps you up. You stay loose and relaxed with the arm, and you let the racket do the work rather than forcing it with the body. If you're close enough to the net, then you should look to play short and get the ball to bounce up and over your opponent like this. But if you're further back in the court or that ball gets behind you, you're going to have to play more of a defensive smash. You're going to have to play with more slice to give the ball more height, and the spin will still make it difficult for your opponent to return. Now, I will say if the ball is very high and dropping very vertically, you may be better off letting it bounce and playing a bounce overhead, but we'll cover this and some specific drills for the smash in the future. But if this video has helped, then please leave it a like and a comment down below and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on court in the next one. Cheers, guys.